Bankers Life Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, where the hometown Pacers are facing elimination. This is a familiar and unpleasant situation for Indy fans, as the Pacers are 0-4 all-time in playoff series against LeBron James. For more on the game, we welcome in Lisa Salters. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Michelle. Well, I will get to the Pacers in a minute, but first I want to give you an update on Cavaliers point guard George Hill, who missed games 4 and 5 with back spasms. Hill was out here on the floor earlier and looked pretty good. He was trying to warm up, but we just spoke to Cavs head coach Ty Lue, who told us that he's not sure yet what Hill's status is, but he did say regardless of whether Hill is able to go tonight, Jose Calderon will start. Lue said, look, we've won 2 straight games with Jose Calderon starting, and even if Hill is able to play, he'd be on a minutes restriction, so it just makes sense. Now for the Pacers, who really for the first time in this series have their backs against the wall, head coach Nate McMillan just told us, look, he thinks it's a great challenge for his young team to be in an elimination game going up against LeBron James and the Cavaliers. He said, let's see how we respond. And their star, Victor Oladipo, just told us, look, we only have no choice in how we respond if we want our season to continue.
Win. So the only thing we focus on is winning. Obviously, last game was a tough way to lose, but can't do anything about it now. All we focus on is winning tonight and taking it one game at a time so we can force a game 7.
So the mindset is simple, but history is not on Indianapolis's side, or on Indiana's side rather, keeping in mind that LeBron James has won 10 consecutive closeout games. Jalen, my question for you, what do the Pacers have to do tonight to change that kind of history?
They got to get the home crowd involved. They have to get off to a really good start. I played there 6 years. That's Indiana. In 49 states, it's just basketball. Okay, their role players have to show up. Collison has to show up. He's been invisible in this series. And their star player, Victor Oladipo, has to have a signature game. The only game they won this series, he played really well and he was dominant. He has to find a way to lead this basketball team, and then he'll open it up for other players like Bogdanovich to make plays and Turner. But I think it falls on Victor Oladipo, this year's most improved player.
The game ending the way it did, let me ask you this. The game ended the other day. It was most dramatic fashion, what we now know is a goaltending, and then LeBron hits the 3 at the buzzer, and it's amazing basketball to watch. But if you're this Indy team, what do you take from the way that game ended into tonight?
Well, you feel like you played good enough to win away from home, which is a big deal for a young basketball team. And your best player wasn't exceptional. So you feel good at home saying, okay, we got all our folks here. I got my family here. I got my friends here. I got 17,000, 18,000 in the building. We'll be ready to go tonight because we feel like this should be a closeout game on our end. But it's not, so they'll be ready to go.
A couple things Indiana has to do. You know, they have to, one, slow down LeBron, which is not easy.
Right.
But when I'm watching the game, it looks like a video game. LeBron just moseos down the lane, gets layup after layup after layup. Now, you have to limit those layup opportunities. You have to say, how are we going to make LeBron work a little bit harder? Force him to shoot his jumper. Some of the things I would do is, when they ran pick and roll, I would go under a lot. I'll be like, look, if LeBron is going to hit these jumpers tonight, hats off. But he can't continue to get layup after layup after layup. It just looks too easy. Limit those easy opportunities. 2, Indiana has to find better ways to get Oladipo in scoring position. All Cleveland is doing is trapping him when he comes off the pick and roll at half court, forcing him to give it up. And then when they don't go in the pick and roll, he's all one-on-one. I mean, ever since the first 2 games, his percentages has gone down. He's taking difficult one-on-one shots. Get him off the ball. Find other ways to get him on the move. Find him on the move, slashing, coming off down screens. Let's try to get him some easier baskets, because all we're doing is seeing him chuck shot after bad shot because of the Cleveland defense.
That graphic was rough.
It was.
If you're Victor Oladipo, that has to be motivation enough, at least knowing that you're at home.
He has to find new ways. He has to be a better playmaker then. If they're going to trap him, he has to be a better playmaker, and assist total should go up if he's shooting so bad and can't get the shots he wants.
And we can't act like he's been the man 3 or 4 or 5 years in a row in the play. This is his first opportunity. This is the first time a defense has been able to set up to stop or slow down just him. He's been a piece in Oklahoma City, but he hasn't been the guy. So he's still learning as well, you know, how to really be able to impose his will no matter what the coverage is.
And speaking of pieces, while LeBron has been dominant, you know who else has been pretty good? Kyle Korver.
Yep.
They snuck him into the starting
second best
lineup.
seat. Yeah,
He's
yeah.
making shots when they get it to him. He's coming off screens, causing double and triple teams. He's freeing it up for LeBron to now have room to do that dribble penetration.
If Kyle Korver's going to be their second best player here in the playoffs, Cleveland's not going very far. They got to find a way to get Kevin Love going, J.R. Smith. I mean, I'm glad that Kyle Korver's playing well, but they got to find their other superstars to play well.
You
too.
cannot let a dude mosey-O's. That is the one thing that I learned today.